Kotaku UK is no more, and it seems like the phrase "get woke go broke" holds a lot of truth, at least for Kotaku UK. You know that Kotaku has undergone a lot of change during this year, and a lot of their prominent faces, so to speak, like Jason Schreier and Cecilia D'Anastasio and all of those other game journalists, quote unquote, have quit because the new boss doesn't want them to get political. The new boss wants them to do their job, which is, if you're about sport, you speak about sport. If you're about gaming, you speak about gaming. You leave your opinions out there, whether we agree with them or not. They're not part of what you would call professional journalism. And professional journalism is this thing that tries to achieve, as much as possible at least, objectivity, so that it gives the customer, the gamer, a full picture of what's happening. And it is very surprising that amongst COVID thing, and there was a lockdown and whatnot, people consumed a lot of media, and yet Kotaku is out of business in the UK. So that tells a lot about Kotaku in general, and about the kind of articles that they try to publish or that they used to publish, and the takes that they used to have. And this obviously just made them irrelevant. Otherwise, why would they stop doing business? Because if the business was lucrative, things wouldn't stop. I think that's quite common sense in there. So this farewell message here begins with the history of Kotaku, and then here saying a statement that, quote, video games have changed a lot in the time since Kotaku UK launched, and will continue to morph and move at a breakneck pace in the years to come. Sadly, we won't be able to guide you through them. I honestly don't want anyone like Kotaku in general, or Kotaku UK or US, to guide me through video games, because they have showed time and time again that they don't care about the gamers. They rather care about companies, and they want to hold that privilege of attending video game conferences, being paid to test games and whatnot. And that obviously means that they have to praise the games that they're testing to a certain degree. And they're speaking about games having changed. I think everything changes, but I don't know what kind of change they're talking about exactly. What is the change here, we don't know. But there certainly is a change in terms of media coverage. As I said, these websites like IGN and Kotaku and Polygon no longer care for the real customer. And then they carry on here saying, for those that don't know, Kotaku US is run by GO Media, with Future Publishing licensing out the brand and content for the UK site, the one you're reading right now. Unfortunately, Future has decided not to renew the license when it expires on Wednesday, the 9th of September, meaning the end of the current incarnation of Kotaku UK. To be completely honest, I don't know about Kotaku UK. Like, do they really have some kind of articles that are different from Kotaku US? It carries on. So this is the end for those of us working on the site right now, but not necessarily the end of a localized version of Kotaku. I don't know what that exactly means. The rights will be reverting back to GO Media this week, and US-based Kotaku will continue to operate and produce content. Fans can continue to follow Kotaku at kotaku.com. If I would feel sad, I would feel sad for those people who lost their jobs and who are not necessarily, against the gamers, who are not those activists, those people who would just do their jobs. They don't hold any grudge against gamers. They don't produce content just to stir this kind of discussion, if you will. Even if it's not a discussion, it's just like an echo chamber of those websites trying to validate each other's points. But there are other people who work for Kotaku, like engineers and whatnot, and it is sad to see them lose their jobs, and hopefully they will find a better job in a better place. And then here is just again the writer speaking about their experience working for Kotaku and the people they have worked with, and a final word to the readers saying that they're sorry to say goodbye and whatnot. So yeah, I think those readers weren't many, otherwise this website would have thrived and continued to produce content in there. But if there is any message out there like I said, it's that these people who work in these access media journalism thing should really consider who is their real customer, because if they care only for the companies and they care for those privileges and those bonuses, like go in conventions, you know, and fly into the United States and other parts of the world and whatnot, that's not going to be enough for them to make a living doing journalism or gaming journalism. And this is a very clear proof that this is the case. And I even dare say that Kotaku.com, the mother website, is like a shadow of its former self. It lost Jason Schreier. I mean, the guy has his takes that very people agree with sometimes, but he has some really good journalism scoops in there. He provides us with some real insider information, and he still does for Bloomberg, but the activism in them just made them kinda irrelevant, and everyone just started to see through the kind of identity politics that they endorse. Not to mention that people at Kotaku.com, if I remember well in one article, they start with something like $50,000 a year, which is a huge amount of money. And of course, people like Jason Schreier or Cecilia D'Anastasio would get a lot more. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more. I will talk to you again soon. Have a good one.